Okay, welcome. I have Diana Soleh here. She's running for Arlington City Council, District 3. Diana, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Christopher. I'm delighted and thrilled to be here.
It's our pleasure. Are you ready for your first question?
I am.
Okay, this will be a 3-minute response. Please introduce yourself to the voters of Arlington. How long have you lived here? What is your occupation? And what are notable experiences that you have serving our community?
So my name is Diana Soleh. As Christopher mentioned, I'm running for City Council to represent District 3. Professionally, I'm an account manager at a large healthcare organization out in Las Colinas. I'm in the generic pharmaceutical space, and I'm focused on business development and commercialization, especially as it relates to bringing generic pharmaceuticals to market. I've been living in Arlington for just under a decade now, and I've been so fortunate to call Arlington home and have built a great community of folks around me. And it's truly a pleasure to be in this space where I get to run to represent District 3. Additionally, I've been living here for just under a decade, and I believe I mentioned that already, but my notable experiences within the community, I've been a proud member of the Junior League of Arlington previously, as well as Arlington Great Southwest Rotary, where I've had the opportunity to engage in several great initiatives that support the community, as well as various activities. And those are the two organizations that are near and dear to my heart. But of course, anywhere there's an opportunity to serve, or whether it's a faith-based organization or a civic organization. So there's been multiple opportunities over the years to go out and help either with my time or energy or resources. So Arlington's just a great place to be, and I'm proud to call it home.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, your next question, and this will be a 2-minute response. Why are you running for office?
I'm running for office to be the voice of District 3. Often the southeast portion of Arlington gets overlooked from certain conversations, and we just want to ensure that the residents of District 3 have all of the resources that they need to flourish, as well as both our younger citizens and our older citizens and everyone in between. I'm focused on equity, empathy, and action, so all of the tenets as it relates to that, and especially transparency and accountability. As your future elected official, I definitely want to make sure that your voice is heard, that your needs are met, that you know exactly when and where and how to reach me, and that there's that consistent line of communication. I value your feedback, and I want you to know that I'm ready to listen and ready to, roll up my sleeves and put in the work.
Great, thank you. Okay, the next question, and this will also be a 2-minute response. What are your top 3 priorities for stimulating small business activity and entrepreneurship in Arlington?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So one of my main focuses has actually been on making sure that we have sustainable growth, as well as supporting our local businesses. We need to, of course, expand our economy and use our economic incentives wisely, all the while supporting our local entrepreneurs. So my first priority is to meet with our local business owners and understand what are the things that they need to thrive in District 3 and in Arlington as a whole, particularly as it relates to what they needed last year, what they need today, and what they need next year. I definitely want to put my background in business and my heart for community service, because again, I'm ready to push for judicious economic decisions that benefit Arlington residents as a whole.
Thank you. Okay, the next question. Do you feel that the current development impact fee schedule, certificate of occupancy procedures, or permitting processes should be modified? And if so, in what ways? And this will also be a 2-minute response.
That is a great question. To be completely honest, I'm still exploring that space and understanding exactly how the decisions were made, how that impacts our city as a whole, and what that looks like for the future. So as I continue to do that research and do my due diligence to understand that space, I will continue to collaborate with the leaders and also to understand, why the decisions are made and put in place, and make sure that every decision that's made is fair and just and examined at its merit. So as I continue to learn about that space, I hope to share more with you in the future.
Thank you. Okay, next question. What should the city do differently, if anything, to address problems with neglected multifamily housing structures? And this will be 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's another excellent question. So as far as it's as the multifamily structures really, I mean, there's definitely a need to reassess one, the multiple structures, two, as well as, you know, how these structures are in place. As we've seen most recently throughout the storm, there have been many apartment complexes without water, without the proper infrastructure, and so the fact that they're being neglected is certainly an issue and that we need to address. Again, that's another space where I look forward to collaborating with the leaders and the decision makers and to make an informed decision on how best to, one, support our community in that way and just make decisions that are that allow us to be um, the, that make the most economic sense, but also supports our community in the way, because multifamily structures, of course, um, they are the housing that's affordable for the community. So in making decisions, we need to make very thoughtful, careful decisions that make sure that we are stewards of public resources, but also that they are, you know, not negatively impacting the people that benefit from this the most.
Great, thank you. Okay, next question. What sort of policies might you pursue, if any, to promote social justice, equity, and inclusion in our community? And this will be 2 minutes.
So the first place I would start is looking at all of the wonderful recommendations that were brought forth by the Unity Council. I understand that our current City Council has accepted 50 and is willing to adopt 50 of those recommendations. I think the committee that was doing the research and made the excellent recommendations really put in a lot of effort, thoughtful effort, and did their due diligence. I think they have several great ideas that really need to be implemented in a proactive way, as well as continuing to find sustainable solutions to that. I also look forward to collaborating with fellow council members to see if there is a way to make this a permanent council, because the issues of social justice and equity are not a one-time, you know, cause and effect situation. We need to continuously pursue equity in all ways possible. And so I look forward to, again, collaborating with individuals, with members of the community, with the thought leaders in these spaces.
Thank you. Okay, next question. What initiatives will you pursue, if any, to address homelessness and poverty in Arlington? This will be 2 minutes.
Yeah, so the issues of homelessness and poverty in Arlington are extremely critical. We need to definitely take a step back and look at ways we can support our unhoused neighbors, as well as address food insecurity and a myriad of different issues related to poverty. We can't overlook our neighbors that are struggling, especially now. You know, the struggles have only been amplified because of COVID, because of the snowstorm that we just had. So looking at it from a way that we could focus on the intersectionality of, you know, how government works best with nonprofit and local businesses to come up with cohesive plans to support our community in that way. There's certainly a need for it, and I am, you know, ready to advocate on behalf of our neighbors and make sure that they have all the resources they need. There's also, you know, in addition to addressing the issues of homelessness, but making sure that the nonprofits in this space that are already doing the great work day in, day out to support the community also have the resources that they need.
Thank you. Okay, next question. What specifically will you do to build better working partnerships with the University of Texas at Arlington, Tarrant County College, or the Arlington Independent School District? And this will be 2 minutes as well.
Yeah, so I think personally that the fact that these partnerships are so critical to just the sustainability, the growth, the making sure that our city moves forward in a way that you know, supports our younger students. I think we have a wealth of opportunity within UTA and TCC and the great schools around us that we just haven't tapped into. It's brimming with possibilities. So making sure that we could collaborate together, support our students, but also bring them into opportunities where they can help solve for either issues related to, traffic, urban planning, business opportunities, really create a hub of entrepreneurship and a place where they feel that they can, thrive and create opportunities where their innovation is supported. There's definitely a wealth of opportunity there that we just haven't tapped into to the best of our abilities. So I look forward to collaborating with the students as well as the professors in these spaces and coming up with ways that we can solve issues together, but also that they feel supported and most importantly, that students want to stay after graduation.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Do you think that the City Council should take additional steps to mitigate the negative effects of tourism-based economic activity on established neighborhoods and long-term residents? This will be 2 minutes as well.
Sure. So any activity that could negatively impact our local residents or any community should certainly be evaluated and reviewed, and a cohesive plan should be put in place to make sure that we can mitigate any of the negativity as much as possible. I'm not sure quite which areas you're referring to or exactly what the negativity is, but just in a general sense, anything that could potentially harm our citizens or reduce their safety or make them feel uncomfortable in their spaces as a result of tourism or an influx of tourists into the city should definitely be at one of the highest priorities. In order for our citizens to feel safe, we need to actively hear their input and their feedback. And when they tell us that, there's certain areas where they are overlooked or unheard, we need to take that feedback and really action on it. So generally speaking, I definitely would be an advocate for making sure our communities remain safe, but that we also enjoy the opportunity to have neighbors from across the Metroplex, across the United States to come visit us in a way that keeps our community safe.
Thank you. Are you ready for the last question?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so this will be a 3-minute response.
Okay.
What will make you a better candidate for City Council than your competitors? 3 minutes.
Well, Christopher, if there's anything you need to know about me, I am the child of immigrant parents that have instilled in me an extremely hard work ethic. I've been an advocate and a leader my entire life. Being that English was my first language, I was always in a position from a very early age to advocate on behalf of the ones I loved and to make sure that my actions matched my responsibilities. Because the reality is, when you grow up in this space and you are the family interpreter, negotiator, healthcare advocate, you take on a leadership role very early on, especially being the eldest of 5 children. So I've had every experience you could think of leading up to this point that would allow me to be the voice of Southeast Arlington in a way where I can do so compassionately with their needs in mind and at the intersection of justice and doing what's fair. I'm excited to be in this opportunity, to be in this space where I have this opportunity to be an advocate for communities that often go unheard, our underserved communities, our immigrant communities, the communities that make Arlington our great city and what it is today. I mean, I've been the embodiment of the American dream. I'm first generation. I've worked incredibly hard to get to where I am today. And I just want to make sure that everyone that's fortunate to call Arlington home gets the opportunity to do that. And realizes the American dream themselves. So again, as I said earlier, I'm ready to put in the work. I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to collaborate. We may not always agree with each other, but if there's one thing that I've always been very skilled at is building relationships. I'm an excellent listener. I've been able to build rapport with individuals that don't always look like me or think like me or from a wide variety of perspectives. And at the end of the day, it's all about working for the citizens of Arlington, the citizens of District 3, and making sure that their voice is heard, their needs are met, and everyone has the opportunity to call the American Dream City their home in a way that's meaningful and that they feel supported and have the ability to thrive.
Awesome. Diana, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your participation and best of luck to you on the campaign.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to come speak with you. And I look forward to collaborating with the young men of Arlington as well in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you.